Hi everyone, it's Joe. So there's this idea that's been going on my mind for quite a long time now, and basically this is like a different type of video I wanna make just to beef up my channel a bit. Um this time it's like a prediction video where I'm gonna talk about what should have happened in a certain movie. So today today I'm going to be discussing about this movie that I'm pretty sure everyone, including me, grew up watching this movie, and of course it's based on the beloved British children's series, uh, and of course, like even though even though this particular movie uh, became a cult classic. It is also not very good. Doesn't really age well, and that movie would be Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Yeah. So Thomas and the Magic Railroad. What can I say about that? Well, for starters, like I personally did not mind that movie at all, and not even to this day. I I've only, and to be honest, I've only seen that movie once. That was years ago when I was a little boy. I was like 6 or 5 when I first watched that movie, and like I grew up watching the Thomas and Friends TV show, specifically the live action CGI one that I used to watch when I was a baby on Treehouse. Um, yeah, and I can understand why the movie didn't age well, and like I don't think that movie's that bad, but it does have some problems which I'll get into, and I want to talk about what should have happened in the movie to make it more better, uh and that people would have liked it if those stuff have changed in the first place. So, now I want to warn you, some of the stuff I am about to say, they might come out as nitpickish. I know some of you might think that I might be nitpicking about some of the criticisms I have, but again, it's really just my opinion. Uh, you don't, if you disagree with me, it's all right. To each their own. So anyways, uh, from what I've read, I heard apparently. Just bear with me, everyone. Yeah. So, from I read on an article on Wikipedia once that Patrick Breen was originally going to voice Splatter, but unfortunately he didn't make the cut. His voice didn't fit the character, which I I think that's not a good idea of the producers to decline Patrick Breen voicing Splatter and giving the I don't think it's a good I don't think it's right for Patrick Breen to lose the role of Splatter to someone else. I actually think Patrick Breen would actually be a great fit of Splatter. And what's wrong with his voice anyways? What's wrong with his voice anyways? I I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Uh, Again, I won't really get too much into that, but all I could say is that I will have to disagree about this. I think Patrick Breen should voice Splatter, and like Patrick Breen should have voiced Splatter. That's pretty much all I could say. Um. Uh. And uh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and another thing that I think should have happened. Apparently, during production of the movie, Michelangelo, who would of course later be the narrator of the Thomas and Friends series, was originally going to voice James. However, just like Patrick Breen, Michelangelo lost the role of James to someone else, which it's all because the producers felt Michelangelo's voice as James is a little scary for younger audiences, which I think that's just a lame excuse. Yeah, I think those producers are kind of nitpicking, to be frank. And I will have to disagree about this too. I think Michelangelo's does sound like a good voice for James. Michelangelo's is a better choice for James. I is what I have to argue with. Anyways, I want to explain the big thing about Thomas the Magic Railroad. The big thing, which I'm pretty sure, which I already know, that I think it's like the biggest, one of the biggest regrets ever. Apparently during the production of the movie, there was initially going to be a villain named P.T. Boomer. Yeah, and from what I've heard, during the original production of the movie, P.T. Boomer was initially going to be the main antagonist, and Diesel 10 would have been the secondary antagonist. Unfortunately, though, a lot of the producers viewed the entire test screening of the film, and they were all very disappointed with the results of P.T. Boomer. They decided to scrap the character P.T. Boomer, all because they felt P.T. Boomer looked way too scary for younger children. Which, to be honest, that right there is definitely beyond nitpickish. It's not necessary of them to remove P.T. Boomer from the film. They should just keep P.T. Boomer. And I've seen what P.T. Boomer looks like, and he's not scary at all, not even one bit. That's kind of like saying you want to remove Joker from a Batman movie all because Joker looks too scary for younger children, especially because Joker is a clown. But I know what Joker looks like. I've seen what he looks like, especially when I was a little kid, and guess what? He never scared me when I was a little kid. I understand that's common for little kids to be scared of clowns, but Joker did not scare me, and it did not scare anyone else. So, what? I don't understand why. I think it's a stupid idea of them to scrap P.T. Boomer from the film, because P.T. Boomer would have actually been a really interesting villain, and it's just sad that they removed the character. Anyways, enough with all that. Another thing that I think should have happened in the movie, which again, just my opinion, I personally think Thomas and the Magic Railroad should have had like a even better soundtrack. Specifically, some songs consisting like a soundtrack consisting of songs by Canadian artists. It would make sense too, because I know Thomas and the Magic Railroad is like Thomas and Friends is technically British, but I would actually consider Thomas and the Magic Railroad to be British, American, and Canadian. Why Canadian, you may ask? So Thomas and the Magic Railroad was filmed in Toronto, which is in Canada. It was filmed in Canada. It was filmed in Toronto, and all of the voice actors who voice all of the engines are all Canadian. So I think it makes sense to make a soundtrack of songs recorded by Canadian artists, and this is what I think the soundtrack should have been, especially the songs that should have been featured in the movie. Um, like, of course, we all know there's one certain Canadian artist that contributed to the film by when he recorded a cover of "He's a Really Useful Engine," which that would of course be Stephen Page of Barenaked Ladies. Well, technically, this was back when Stephen Page was in the Barenaked Ladies. He's Barenaked Ladies. He's not anymore, but yeah. Anyways, gonna show y'all right here. Again, this is fan made. I created it, but yeah, this is what I think how the soundtrack should have been and what songs should have been featured in the film. If you can all see. Yeah, so there is He's a Really Useful Engine by Stephen Page, which is actually from the film. The Locomotion by Atomic Kitten. Now, Atomic Kitten is actually a British girl group. Yeah, they're popular in the UK. Definitely not as popular as Spice Girls, though. But yeah, Atomic Kitten did actually contribute to the film. But the other artists I added that I think should have contributed to the film. The rest would be Shining Time by Gord Downie of the Tragically Hip, Summer Sunday by Geddy Lee of Rush, He's Diesel 10 by Helix, I Know How the Moon Must Feel by Sarah McLachlan, Some Things Never Leave You by Burton Cummings of the Guess Who, Rainbow Magic by Shania Twain, and Ladies Are Number One by Rick Emmett of Triumph. Yeah. And I think the most thing I'm proud of for including in the soundtrack is a song that I think Gord Downie should have recorded for the film. Everyone loves Gord. Canada loves Gord. I love Gord. We all love Gord, especially to all of us who grew up listening to the Tragically Hip. And plus, Gord Downie's a legend, although it makes me disappointed still to this day that Gord Downie never contributed to writing or recording a song for a film, which I think that might probably be one of Gord Downie's biggest regrets. Again, it's just my opinion, but yeah, it would have been exciting. It would have been really excellent if Gord Downie did write and record a song featured in Thomas and the Magic Railroad, as well as the film soundtrack. But yeah, I digress. That's pretty much everything I want to talk about for Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Again, if you disagree with me, it's alright. To each their own. Anyways, with all that aside, I hope you enjoyed this, and peace out.